Welcome to the Streamer Shoutcast, the series where I provide professional commentary over the games of some of your favorite streamers. If you have any suggestions for streamers I should feature on this series, let me know in the comment section below. And if you like this series, be sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. On last week's episode, I featured KP, and this week, I'm featuring the top lane god himself, SoloRenektonOnly. Boom, what up? TwigerLoL here, and I feel like I had to do a little intro to pay homage to the person that we are featuring in this streamer showcast, which happens to be one of my favorite streamers, SoloRenektonOnly. Now, all of his details in terms of his Twitch and his YouTube channel are going to be down in the description below. If you have not checked his stuff out, I definitely recommend checking out. He streams nearly every single day. Top lane god, and currently playing as Ornn, who arguably is one of the better champions in the game right now, especially in this patch. Now, he is on his alternate account, SoloCorgiOnly, and I must mention that that was Lola barking in the background, who is in fact a corgi, so I feel like this is just a commentary that needed to happen at some point. Looks like he might be going to get a drink or something like that while he's currently waiting in the fountain, but while he is currently waiting, we can just talk kind of about his team. If you haven't watched one of these videos before, we did KP-LOL earlier on last week. We try to focus on their gameplay, the streamer who we are featuring, try to see how they play the champion so you can maybe improve on your skills on that champion, but we try to do a commentary of the entire game just to see how it is going to progress throughout the game. Now, SoloRenektonOnly, SRO on Ornn. On this alternate account, he's played this champion 4 times in ranked, and he has a 100% win rating over those 4 games, and with some pretty great stats: 5.5 kills, 2.0 deaths, and 7.3 assists, giving him a 6.38 KDA, which is pretty impressive. Now, in terms of this game, he might have his work cut out for him because he is going up against a Sona, and now Sona and Soraka did get a little bit nerfed up in this top lane, but Sona, you know, didn't really get hit as hard as Soraka top did. So we're probably going to be seeing this Sona just harass the living crap out of this Ornn. She did, of course, go for that Spell Thief's Edge just to get the gold that she needs from the lane, and then she's going to really just start roaming for the remainder of the game. So SRO might be able to get a decent amount of farm when she starts roaming, but at the beginning here, luckily he did actually go for the Corrupting Potion to keep him alive a little bit. But going into the Corrupting Potion, we should be talking about his runes. Now, for Ornn, he has gone for the Resolve Tree, Grasp of the Undying, Demolish, Second Wind, and Overgrowth. So definitely looking for that extra health and taking the damage and gaining it back. Inspiration Tree, secondary with Biscuit Delivery and Time Warp Tonic. And runic stats, he went for Adaptive Force and Magic Resistance, just flat out double Magic Resistance, because I feel like he realized he's going to be facing a Sona up in the top lane. So the Time Warp Tonic definitely makes a big difference in terms of utilizing that Corrupting Potion, so it's definitely going to give him a little bit of additional oomph in the lane to kind of keep him in here, be able to deal with Sona's damage, which is just kind of tireless throughout the game. She's also gone for the Summon Airy, so every auto attack, every Q is going to add that little extra punch of damage onto SRO, so gonna have to see just how he deals with this poke. It's going to be one of those very, very annoying lanes for him to deal with. I think he knows, because he did actually, so this account, I should probably say, is currently Plat 1 with a 58% win rating. So he's been doing well. I think he ended last season at Grand Master, so definitely a high-skilled champion, player, definitely not unfamiliar with high ELO gameplay. But in terms of like the Ornn versus Sona, I think he kind of is going to realize, being a good player, that he is going to outscale Sona eventually. Ornn is just one of those champions that, of course, having his, especially his Living Forge, just being able to upgrade everybody's items, upgrade his own items, he should be feeling pretty good about later on into this game. But looks like we did actually have First Blood in that mid lane, going over to the Yasuo, which is definitely not the person that you would want First Blood going off to. But in terms of who we've got in this game, we should probably talk about that. Sona in the top lane versus Ornn. Darius versus Amumu in the jungle. Both champions did get buffed in the jungle, so that should be very interesting to see. Yasuo versus seemingly Elise in the mid lane, which is definitely an interesting, more off-meta pick. And then Senna, Alistar versus Kate and Vel'Koz. So some pretty standard lanes, but it looks like the teleport coming down actually from Ornn. SRO is going to make it to that ward just before it dies, trying to get the Rupture up onto the Caitlyn to slow her down, but it's not going to work. But the Searing Charge is going to come in, knock up the Vel'Koz, and it looks like Senna is going to pick up the first kill for this red team. Very nice teleport just before that ward in the third brush ended up ending there. So he's going to go back with a little bit of extra gold. What's he going to pick up? He is going to go immediately for boots and a null magic mantle, just once again to deal with that magic damage that's coming out from that that Sona. He definitely needs that MR as early as humanly possible. So currently 1-1, 4.5 minutes into this game. In terms of how the farm is going, he does have 20 CS over the 16 of Sona. So even though he's taking a lot of harassment, even though he's having to back off and constantly chug those corrupting potions, he's doing a pretty good job at farming. But I do want to see what happened in the mid lane, because it's one of those things that when you get first blooded, especially as somebody like a Yasuo, if you can then come back and get a solo kill in your lane, that is just something that is so good for your lane. So it looks like Yasuo was doing a good job of utilizing those Spirelings to try to get around and get more damage off onto that Elise, but just not enough. So Elise getting a solo kill onto the Yasuo. It looks like the the Last Embrace, did end up landing onto that Caitlyn and the heal coming up, but the Alistar just getting that pulverized off, but not actually landing the headbutt to get a combo there. But you know, Summoner Spell for nothing is pretty darn good for this bot lane. In terms of how the farm overall is going, we did already comment on SoloRenektonOnly's farm over this Sona. 28-31 in favor of the Darius in the jungle, 33-28 in favor of that Elise, and 33-33 in that bot lane. So some very even stuff in the first 5 minutes of this game, but currently a 200-300 gold lead in favor of the blue side, even though the kill lead is currently in favor of our red side. So in terms of just Ornn scaling into this game, he's just one of those champions that his Bellows Breath, I think, is the hands down most overpowered ability on this guy, other than like his ultimate. But the Bellows Breath is a little bit tougher on somebody like a Sona, but of course when you activate that, they get brittle on them, and then when you auto attack them the next time, they do scaling, of course, 12 to 13 to 14 to 15 to 16% at max level of the target's maximum HP, which is absolutely insane. If you're facing Ornn as a tank, you are going to run into big issues because of that max HP damage. But Sona, of course, can just kind of stand from a long distance. He does get the knockup on her though, and there is going to be the Bellows Breath, but he's actually not going to get the Brittle Charge. But the Headbutt Pulverize is going to land onto the Sona. He's currently charging up that E, and is going to get that last stun. The slow coming from the Q is going to be enough to slow her down for a little bit, but she does actually have level 6, so she's just going to get a good crescendo off onto the Alistar and to the Ornn, and she's going to walk away from this one. Very, very nice play from that Sona, getting that ultimate off on both of them. It was a really nice chain CC from that Alistar, but the Sona played that very, very calmly, just using that barrier to absorb some of that damage, not burning her flash, just getting the ultimate off to keep her alive. But we're now waiting for SoloRenektonOnly to get his ultimate, because I feel like once he's got that Call of the Forge God, all of a sudden it's going to open up a lot of opportunities for ganks up in that lane. In terms of how everything else is going, everybody just seems to kind of be farming things out. The Amumu is now pinging that Mountain Dragon, which Mountain Dragon being the first one, never going to really complain about a Mountain Dragon, but it means that we're not going to see the Mountain Soul as the final dragon that's going to come out here. So definitely curious to see what is going to end up being the Soul and whether these teams are going to be looking for it. But we do have the Bandit Trust onto the Darius, taking a ton of damage. He's already level 6, so the Curse of the Sad Mummy is going to lock down the Darius at level 5 and going to secure a solo kill on him. The Last Embrace did land onto the Vel'Koz, the flash coming out from the center as well, but it looks like Gomo, the Alistar, is going to pick up the kill onto the Vel'Koz. Right now the bot lane is currently running for their lives. They don't really know that the Sona and the Amumu are both here. The Amumu does not have his ultimate, but the Last Embrace is going to lock him down for just a little bit, but it's not going to matter. The Sona is going to pick up a kill onto the Alistar, and Sona, I don't even know how she got there. I think just walked a long way because she doesn't have TP, but great little return kill onto the Alistar. So support for support. The only issue with that is that the Alistar was the one who picked up the kill onto the Vel'Koz, which, to be honest, not the best thing. You definitely want those kills going onto your ADC Senna. But while all this is happening, it looks like the Amumu did start this dragon off. Currently at 1600 HP. The Senna's doing a lot of damage to this Sona, and the Elise is currently flanking around. The Repel's going to come down, and the Q's going to come down. That's going to be enough damage. Right now, the Amumu is very, very low on mana. The dragon is going to go in favor of the Senna. Huge Q coming down from the Senna. I don't even know if the Smite wasn't even available for the Darius. The Amumu died, and the dragon died all at the same time. Amumu not getting that Smite off. So all of a sudden, which was a great play from this blue side, ended up being absolutely disastrous for them. And while this whole thing was happening, while the Sona was down bot lane, SoloRenektonOnly did the smart thing, which was his teleport's down, so he can't really join. He has just been pushing and farming plates and minions this entire time, knowing full well that this Ornn is going to scale. Getting that gold is super important to have that big tanky frontliner on your team. So he already has 62 CS over the 28 of Sona. Now, It is, of course, a different play style, the Sona versus the Ornn. The Ornn does want to farm. The Sona is basically just going to be getting that gold from the gold per 5 item, constantly trying to proc that on SoloRenektonOnly as much as she can, and then she's going to start roaming. But I don't know, if you're looking at a 34 CS lead in favor of Ornn, already going back and picking up that Catalyst and also the Negatron cloak, so probably going to see that turn into an Abyssal Mask later, which of course is great for him because it negates some magic damage, but then also improves the amount of magic damage that your team will do as a whole, which for the Ornn and for the Elise, that's going to be pretty fantastic. In terms of just checking in on the CS scores, 32-64, talked about that up in the top lane, 52-56 in the jungle, but not going to talk about that because it looks like the SRO is getting ganked by both the Alistar. The Pulverize is going to miss though. The Repel is doing a lot of damage when he gets that Q on. The Flash Apprehend is going to miss from the Darius, and that Yasuo just escaped by the skin of his teeth. Wow, that was a very weird animation there, but Call of the Forge God is going to go off onto this Sona, doing a lot of damage, taking her down to almost a quarter HP. I just saw the animation of the Call of the Forge God coming in, and it just looked very clunky on the minimap. So, doing a lot of damage, but once again, we're seeing, oh, and here's the ultimate from the side of the shield is not gonna be enough to keep her alive. Looks like Cole picking up that one. The Darius is currently down in the bot side. Not entirely sure if he's gonna find anything here. The flash coming down from the Caitlyn, but luckily the Alistar did go the other way, but the Amumu is here. He does have his ultimate available, so he could very well use it, but the Caitlyn's actually just gonna turn and kill the Alistar during that headbutt animation. The Amumu is gonna land another bandage toss and gonna use this Curse of the Sad Money, and the Disintegration Ray is gonna come out from that Vel'Koz, and that is going to be a dead Darius. So, man, not looking like a fantastic start to this game for SoloRenektonOnly's team. And it must be sad for SRO, who plays a ton of Darius, to be seeing a Darius jungle currently not doing very, very well in the jungle. But just goes to show the power of Amumu right now. He did, I believe, get buffed recently in either this patch or the patch previously. And you're just starting to see he's doing a lot of damage. He is going for more of an AP Amumu. Now, this Elise is going to find a good cocoon onto the Amumu, doing the damage onto the Yasuo, and it's going to get the kill, and he's going to use the Repel over onto the Vel'Koz, using the flash as well. The Chilling Smite did come out from the Amumu. The Bandit Trust is not going to land, so that is going to be the Elise getting out of that one with a kill on her own. A 3 versus 1 ends up picking up a kill. The flash going to have to come out from the Amumu, but the Darius is currently chasing this one down. Does have the Apprehend available. He's just going to get a Q onto the Amumu, and is going to have to probably run away from this one because the Vel'Koz is, 0 and 2, but still does a lot of damage. The flash coming down from the Sona with the Sheeprock is going to be enough to kill the Darius. The Crescendo coming out onto the Elise, but it is not going to be enough. She is going to be dead before the Crescendo can actually get off, so that is another kill for this Elise mid. 5-1-0 with a 550 gold bounty with that Luden's Echo. Very interesting to see. I love seeing off-meta picks, and an Elise mid is definitely one that I have not seen a lot of, so kudos to this Elise mid showing us how it's done. So once again, the Sona roamed, which is exactly what the Sona needs to do. She did burn her flash to get the kill there, and it looks like Ornn, actually, the best part about the Living Forge is that you can create that Abyssal Mask in lane. So very nice to see he just finished that item in lane. He's going to go back right now, not entirely sure what he's going to pick up, but he did just pick up a control ward there. He's got 97 CS over the 38, nearly 60 CS lead over this Sona. So Sona's sitting at 2-2-0. It's been very boring for SoloRenektonOnly right now, but he's doing exactly what he needs to do, which is just sitting back and allowing his minion lead to slowly scale him into this game. Just wanted to see what happened to this Yasuo. Looks like 4 people, the Elise, the Darius, the Alistar, and the Senna are all coming up. This is just going to be one dead Windy Boy. The Apprehend coming down. The Last Embrace also landed as well, so he was going to be CC'd to death during that gank. So very, very nicely played from the red side. In terms of the bot lane CS, 87-96, the Caitlyn's doing a very, very good job. 96 CS, so definitely does have that CS lead, and also 2-0-1. But it looks like the Sona is now here for this Elise, but a great cocoon. The smite going down onto the Elise as well. The Bandage Trust is going to land. A lot of damage coming down from the Curse of the Sad Mummy. It looks like SoloRenektonOnly is going to use his, his teleport to get into this lane. So unfortunately, it's just a little bit too late. He is going to engage onto the Sona, though. The Brittle is there. Call of the Forge God is going to go down onto the Sona, but the barrier is going to be enough to keep her alive for right now. She's trying to do some damage to him, but right now it is just not enough with that Abyssal Mask. He is just so tanky towards magic resistance, and it looks like the Amumu is going to engage as well. Senna ultimate coming to come down, and that is going to be his first kill of this game. They just cannot do damage to him because he is nothing but magic resistance right now. So he's going to go back in. The Darius is going to be able to do enough damage, and that is going to be a shutdown going in favor of SRO's Ornn. That is exactly what he wanted to see with that teleport. I think he was starting to back off a little bit there when he saw that the Elise died so quickly, but then all of a sudden he took a little bit of damage from the Sona, realized that it wasn't that much damage, and thought, you know what, I could probably 2v1 this. So went back in, used the Call of the Forge God, ended up getting a lot of great knockups onto the Sona. The Darius came for the assistance onto the Amumu, but that is a big shutdown on the Amumu going in favor of SRO's Ornn, which is not what the enemy team wants to see right now. A 2-0-1 Ornn who's currently stacking magic resistance against a team that has an Amumu jungle who's going full AP and a Sona who's supposed to be roaming. I'm curious to see what Ornn is going to be building next. Of course, he does have a ton of magic resistance right now. Getting those Demolish Blocks off on the top, that is all of the plates going down for SRO. So it's exactly what he wanted to do. You know, he's had good teleports. He's made those teleports really worthwhile. He, of course, can't roam the same way that a Sona is going to roam, but he's managed to utilize those teleports in a way that kind of matches the Sona. But the Sona is currently chasing. She does have the Crescendo available, but he's going to use his Syrian Charge to try to get away from this one. Don't know if she's actually going to try to ultimate that. No, she's not. The Amumu was here as well, but his Curse of the Sad Mummy is currently maybe about 5 seconds away from being available. So I feel like even if they did catch up to him, if they did use the Crescendo, it was going to take a lot to try to kill that Ornn. But once again, want to see what's happening in this mid lane, because the Elise versus a Yasuo is just a thing that I want to see. So Elise dodging the knockup from the Yasuo with that repel, brilliantly played. The Yasuo does have his knockup available again. He's not going to get his ultimate off because he was cocooned. Man, this Elise is playing this champion beautifully against this Yasuo, dodging the first knockup potential from the Yasuo and then cocooning during the second attempt at the knockup to get that ultimate off. It was just perfect counterplay from Elise. So currently 6-2-1, 1-4-1 for that Yasuo. This Elise is doing a great job at carrying this mid lane. Now, the one thing that I can say, and I think I've said this in every single game that has a Yasuo in it, it does not matter how many times you shut down a Yasuo. The later this game goes, he is going to be a terror, having 100% crit rate and doing insane amounts of damage with like 2 items. So it's something that we've always got to watch out for. It's just, you can shut him down a lot, but once he hits that like 0-10 flame horizon, he is going to do some damage. So looks like the Vel'Koz trying to land that E onto the Senna with the support of the Amumu, but the Senna is just going to pop her E and get away from that one. Huge damage going down onto the Alistar. The Alistar is going to have to pop his ultimate. The Sona is here as well. Flash going to have to come out from the Alistar just to save himself from that Sona and Amumu combo. Very well played by the Alistar, but once again, kind of being caught in a position where he really did not want to be. Looks like while that's going down in the bot lane, Darius has currently started up this Rift Herald. SoloRenektonOnly is going to go and steal the enemy team's blue buff because he does know that the Amumu is down in the bot side. And just looking at his items, he went back, he picked up his Mercury Trez, he's also picked up a Bomby Cinder and also a Chain Vest. So I'm assuming a Sunfire Cape is going to be coming out fairly soon for our Ornn, but it looks like there's a lot of stuff going down in this bot side. The turret is going to go down. That is the second turret of the game. Of course, SRO did pick up that first turret in the top lane, and the Rift Herald is being summoned in the mid lane. So this is probably going to be a free turret for this red side. The Amumu is just sitting here taking down his Raptors, which you can take very quickly, of course, with those lovely tears that do percentage health damage. The Amumu is now here. I don't know if they're going to want to try to engage on this. He's going to just get cocooned by that Elise. It's going to mean absolutely nothing. While all this is happening, SoloRenektonOnly is just basically taking everything away from this Amumu. The Elise and the Darius are both here. Call of the Forge Guard is going to come out. It is going to land onto the Vel'Koz to completely interrupt his ultimate. That is a great play from SRO, using that ultimate to just completely screw over the Vel'Koz on that one, but looks like he might be in a little bit of trouble. The E coming down from the Yasuo, going to try to chase him down. Unfortunately, he does not have a lot of armor right now. He just has magic resistance. The Senna ultimate is going to come down, but the ultimate is going to come down from the Yasuo, and that's going to be enough to pick up the Ornn. But right now, it looks like everybody's going to get into a team fight here. The Yasuo currently onto the Senna, but it's not going to be enough because he's going to get cocooned by that Elise. The Alistar currently chasing the Caitlyn with help of that Darius. They're going to run away from those traps. The Senna's going to get in there, I believe, get the Glacial Augment proc off, and that is going to be enough. A double kill in favor of that Darius. Finally coming into this game and getting some kills. Currently sitting at 4, 3, and 4. So an unfortunate shutdown on SRO on that Ornn, but did do a very good job getting a good ultimate off, getting the CC where he could, and luckily his team was there just to back him up on that one. The ultimate coming down, the flash ultimate coming down from the Amumu, doing an insane amount of damage, picking up a double kill, one-shotting that Senna, and then following up onto I kept on wanting to say Amumu. The repel coming down from the Elise is going to keep her alive for a little bit longer, but the Sona's Crescendo is not currently available. They're just currently trying to do as much damage as possible. The Bandage Shots is going to go a little bit wide. Don't know if they're going to try to chase this one down. The E, of course, when you use the Empowered Auto Attack, is going to slow down the Darius, so they might be able to catch this, but another Bandage Shot's going wide. But SRO is now back alive. The Elise went down to the Vel'Koz, but the Ornn is going to pick up a very easy kill onto that Amumu. Of course, since he's building full AP, means that he is very, very squishy. Glass cannon style of Amumu. So we did actually have the Ornn go back. It looks like he actually has upgraded both his Infernal Mask and also his Forge Cape, the Sunfire Cape being upgraded. And right now he's currently taking on 3 people of the same team. Ultimate coming down from the Yasuo as well. He's going to have the Call of the Forge God going off, but of course the Wind Wall is going to not actually stop anything. He just walked in front of it. Great play from SoloRenektonOnly, just walking into the Wind Wall so it didn't actually block anything. And now he's got the slow onto the Vel'Koz, trying to do as much damage as he can. The Crescendo from the zone is almost available. I don't know if they're going to want to continue to chase this one, but the Senna is going to get the last embrace onto the Vel'Koz, and a great knock up. The Syrian charge coming out of Ornn is going to lock down the Sona for just long enough, just before her Crescendo was going to come back up, gets interrupted, and the SoloRenektonOnly Ornn God is going to just flip that little penguin emote off just to let them know that they just got schooled in that fight. So currently we are sitting at 21-13 in favor of SRO's red side, 36k to 31.4k, so a 5k gold lead nearly in favor of SRO's team. Curious to see, so he's upgraded his 2 items there. Of course, he can upgrade other people's items on the team, so you can see that Rabadon's Death Cap and the Luden's Echo on the Elise can both be upgraded. So curious to see what SRO is going to look to do next, which items he's going to upgrade, what he's going to choose to do, whether he's just going to make himself an absolute unstoppable force on this team, or if he's going to start upgrading other people's items. And also just curious to see what he builds next. He did just get a few kills there, so he's currently sitting at 5-1-3, having a pretty darn good game. But the lucky thing is that he's just been complimented by his team, who have gotten 3 dragons so far, and managed to carry their lanes decently well. It's very rare in League of Legends nowadays to see a team where every lane is going pretty well. Like, no one's really feeding. So SRO went back, he picked up a Giant's Belt, not entirely sure what he's going to build that into. That could go into a lot of things, could be a Warmog's armor, could be anything really. So curious to see what he's going to end up turning that into, but he is just now kind of farming where he can. Of course, with that Sunfire Cape, taking these Raptors down takes absolutely no effort from SRO at all. And the fortunate thing as well, I don't know if the Senna's going to actually pick them up, but there's 3 souls here, which seems like a great thing for him to pick up. But Call of the Forge God is going to come out, not going to actually land onto the Sona, which I think is what he was aiming for, but he didn't have vision of her. And SRO is now going to land a really, really good knock-up onto that Vel'Koz, doing an insane amount of damage, and the ultimate from the Senna pinning him up against the wall is going to be enough to get a kill onto the Vel'Koz. But the Amumu gets a great bandage toss, and another Curse of the Sad Mummy going to do a lot of damage to the Senna, but it is not enough. The repel coming down from the Elise, he is going to flash in on that one. Doesn't have a cocoon ready for the Sona, but did get the Ignite on her. Not going to be enough to kill her, and a great Crescendo coming up from that Sona to stop the onslaught from this red side. Not entirely sure if they're going to want to push for an inhibitor here or go for a Baron, but it looks like they are definitely going to be going for that. Look at that Spider just doing half of the HP of that Caitlyn. The Apprehend is going to land, and it looks like the Q from the SoloRenektonOnly is going to be enough to slow down and kill that Caitlyn. So that's going to be another kill for him. 6-1-5. So much damage from this right side, particularly this Elise, and the fact of the matter is she can be so aggressive because she's got this big beefy front line of Ornn and Darius and Alistar protecting them. It's really, really a great comp, and the thing is, we know that, of course, the ADC... Oh, everybody's screwed over the Ornn, apparently. We know that the ADC is Senna, and even though she does do a lot of damage, she is an AD carry, she also has tons of healing and utility. So the fact that she's also able to keep these tanks alive for even longer makes this game very, very difficult for the blue side to win, especially considering right now we're not seeing anybody on the blue side building percentage health damage. We don't have a Blade of the Ruin King on that Caitlyn. We don't have any type of Liandry's coming out from the Amumu or the Sona. So it's kind of tough. I don't know how you end up melting the HP bars of Ornn, Darius, and Alistar without those types of items. So, you know, we're going to have to see if they're going to be able to adapt to this, but they've got 3 dragons on this red side right now. The next dragon is going to be coming up in the next couple of minutes, but looks like they are going to look for a little bit of a fight here. The Alistar, everybody is currently here except for the Elise in the center, who are the 2 big people on this team. Call of the Forge Guard was completely interrupted by that Yasuo wind wall. That is the unfortunate thing about it. Good knock up onto the Caitlyn and the Bellow's Breath, and the auto attack going to take him down to about a quarter HP. Huge disintegration rate though onto the Alistar, and that's going to be enough. Unfortunately, they are fighting over the wall. The flash from the Darius is going to be enough to kill the Caitlyn, and the E did not land from the Vel'Koz, so he's just going to go on a rampage, going to get the upper hand, but it's not going to be enough to get a kill onto the Vel'Koz, but the shutdown is going to go in favor of SRO. Once again, popping that penguin emote just to let them know that they lost that fight completely. That was an over-the-wall fight, and the thing was, they didn't even have the Elise or the Senna there to fight that one. And now once again, we have a very fed Amumu getting the Curse of the Sad Enemy up. It looks like SoloRenektonOnly is kind of just toying with this guy a little bit, but he's gotta respect the Amumu's damage. But it looks like the auto attack is not gonna land. The bandage shots is not gonna land either. The Elise is now here. Does not have a flash available, but she is not gonna need it. That ranged human form Q is gonna be enough to pick up the Amumu. Elise sitting at 11, 3, and 2. And right now it looks like SoloRenektonOnly is forging in the base of the enemy team. Actually, great play here. It was a Warmog's armor that he ended up building, and he built that in the enemy team's base and is now healing up to full HP in the enemy team's base. I cannot imagine something more BM than that. Like, you got so close to killing the Ornn, and then in your face, he's going to get Warmog's armor and heal up that entire health bar like you did nothing to him. So, very, very nice play. Gotta love seeing it. So 7, 1, and 8 is current score. A great last embrace going to land onto that Caitlyn. The Cocoon just following up from the Elise to get that burst damage off to kill the ADC. Without the Caitlyn, I don't really know what this enemy team is going to do. The Amumu right now is kind of their only hope. If they land a really good crescendo and Amumu ultimate, but the problem is the ultimate is down for the Amumu. But Curse of the Forge God is going to come out. Sorry, Curse of the Forge God, Call of the Forge God, and Curse of the Sad Mummy. But it's not going to matter. A great flash coming out of SoloRenektonOnly to dodge that tornado from the Yasuo, which is going to be his ultimate, of course. So, and the thing is, he doesn't have a ton of armor, just a little bit coming from that Forge Cape, of course. The Elise is going to have to use that Repel to try to get out of this one. The Ornn did go into the fountain. Unfortunately, he just got too overzealous. He was too hypey about that final kill, so he went into the fountain with that Seer Charge. Amazing game, 32-16, 50.2k to 39.5k. Let's go check out those endgame screen to see how everybody did this game. So looking into the end screen here, SoloRenektonOnly 7, 2, and 10 with 167 farm. The Elise also just had an incredible game from the beginning to the end, 11, 3, and 5 with 198 CS. In terms of how the overall damage came out, of course, the Elise, not surprised, did an insane amount of damage, but 13,000 damage coming out of our Ornn. Some great ultimates, great plays, constantly knocking people up, allowing people like the Darius, the Senna, and the Elise to really shine because he was just so tanky. Overall, absolutely fantastic play. In terms of the runes, how much did he actually get? Total damage, 1,208 with 904 healing coming from the Grasp of the Undying, and 2,297 damage to turrets based on that Demolish, which is pretty damn insane if you ask me. So once again, folks, thank you so much for watching SoloRenektonOnly play on this streamer Shoutcast as Ornn. If you have any streamers that you would like to see me do a streamer Shoutcast on, please let me know in the comment section below. Like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. We release 6 videos every single week for your entertainment, including the streamer Shoutcast every single Friday. So once again, folks, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next streamer Shoutcast.